What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have another set of CDL day 6 games for Saturday, February 27th. We have 3 really good games. We have the Atlanta Faze against the Paris Legion. We have the London Royal Ravens against the Minnesota Rocker, and we also have the Los Angeles Guerrillas against the Toronto Ultra. So I'm going to be doing these breakdowns different now because my GPU is, I guess, too slow to render everything together. So I'm just going to be breaking down the matchups, one match per game. One match per video. Then I'm going to be releasing the videos individually. So if you are new to the channel, I do Draftkings analysis on pricings and breakdown for Call of Duty, and I tried to give my insight on who I think the best plays are in the day, in any given day, on Draftkings. So the purpose of this channel is to grow the esports community and the daily fantasy sports community as well. Spread awareness about the esport as well, because I think this is one of the best esports ever. So with that being said, let's take down this Atlanta Faze and Paris Legion matchup, and let's break it down. So this game is going to be interesting. The Paris Legion have actually started to look somewhat of a decent team. They started to look like somewhat of a decent team. They 3-0'd the Florida Mutineers, and then on their next game, I believe they beat Toronto, which was yesterday. They beat Toronto 3-2. So this is what's amazing. I did not think they were going to beat Toronto. I really didn't. But they managed to take 3 games from them. They literally just Toronto Ultra won 2 games, and I think they choked one. I think it might have been a hard point, and they just choked it. So Paris Legion took advantage of that, and they came back. And I'm not sure. I think they won a search. Let me check real quick. I think that the Paris Legion is like a very sleeper team now, just like the Subliners. They're a team that nobody's looking at ever, but they have good talent. What I did call yesterday was that Scraps was a very good price. He usually is a good price, and at that price, as good as he is of a player, he always gives a return. He always delivers on his price. He always, you can't go wrong, especially on this game if you get him at 6,800. The Faze might 3-0 them. If they 3-0 them, then yeah, like his ceiling comes down, because then he doesn't have a chance to score as many points as he'd like to. But at the same time, he'd get the no games played bonus. So for Paris Legion in their series against the Toronto Ultra, they took the hard point. Toronto took the search 6-0, so Paris looked bad, really bad in the search. Toronto, they took the second control, or the first control, and then Paris took the hard point, and they took the next S&D. So this is a team that can rally. I think they're like finding themselves, and I really think they can do good in the rest of the season. I just don't know if it's going to be against this team, right? So any prices that stand out to me on the Paris Legion side would probably have to be Scraps 100%, and he's probably the only one I'm going to be looking for in this spot, because Faze, I feel like it is legit the best team right now in the CDL. I really think that Paris Legion, like Toronto and Florida, are like middle of the pack teams, right? They're like middle of the pack teams. I've said it, an upset was possible. Like, it's always possible, especially with those middle of the pack teams. But Faze being the best team in the CDO, I really doubt that anything happens like of that nature. 3-0, anything like that. 3-2. I guess they could take a map maybe, but I'm not counting on it at all. I'm fading the Paris Legion completely in this spot. you know, even though they've looked good against Toronto Ultra, you know, you got to remember Faze beat Toronto Ultra as well. I know that might not matter, but you know, something to point out. Um, we might come back to reality soon, and these teams are gonna stop, you know, upsetting everybody. Because for the past 2 days, teams that should not be losing are losing, and you know, it's crazy. You know, CDL is insanely competitive this year, and I freaking love it. You know, it's amazing. But on the face side, um, we have Simp at 10,200, and at the cap position we have him at 15,300. I think that Simp is a good play here. I really think all of Faze is a good play here, but I really think his $10,200 price tag is really good for the flex position. That is almost baseline 10,000. You know, BZ as well. His 9,200 flex position. I would play it, as well as his 13,800 position. I'd play that too in cap. Um, they've both had really good games, the prior games. Um, Against Florida, where they won 3-1. Simp had 115 fantasy points. Um, he had 115 fantasy points, and he only costed 9,800. So that's actually a good return. Um, as for Abizi had Abizi was 7,800, and he returned 113 fantasy points. So you know, he was a good return too. So our cities threw a dud. He threw a dud against Florida. He only got 35 points. He wasn't really doing much. He got 44 kills and 72 deaths. But you know, that's why it's reflected in his price, 7,200. But I still think he has a decent amount of upside, especially against the Paris Legion. Uh, you know, he posted 131 fantasy points against LAG, and I think that is, you know, some noteworthy. You could get our cities at 7,200. That's a very good price. And as for Celium, you know, Celium at 7,800, decent price too. He hasn't been doing too hot. His past two games are 85 and 78 fantasy points respectively. I don't know what's been going on with him. He's just been going negative every match, except the first one where he dropped 119 fantasy points against the Los Angeles Guerrillas. Sooner or later he's gonna explode, and he's at 7,800 right now. So he's at a good, very good price. Um, I would take Atlanta at the $4,000 for the flex position of the team flex position. I would take it at 4,000. I do think this is going to be a sweep. I think we need to come down to reality soon, because I don't know if I don't know what would happen if Paris Legion beat the Atlanta Faze. I don't know how the CDL is going to look if things like that keep happening. Um, but as for the odds of the game, um, Atlanta Faze is favored minus 1,200, and the Paris Legion is plus 525. So that just speaks for itself. The Atlanta team position at 4,000, at the 4,000 at the flex. That is honestly one of the key plays for this slate. And yeah, I'm gonna be making separate videos for separate lineups, so I can render the videos faster if you're watching. But yeah, these are my favorite picks. If I had to pick two, if I had to pick two from each team, I would have to pick and Fire, Scraps and Fire from the Paris Legion, and I would also have to pick Abizi and Celium from the Atlanta Face side. Not because Simp and RCDs aren't good plays, just because I think that the upside and the cash, I think you spend a little bit less with Abizi and Celium. I think, if I'm not bad at math, um, then you'd pay for Simp and RCDs, and they honestly, Abizi and Celium would be a nice little duo you could have there in some of your lineups. You know, they're probably gonna do really good. You know, if they 3-0 Paris, are gonna get an extra boost in points as well, so that's pretty good for them. But yeah, that's what I think is gonna happen. My prediction for this game is probably, I say 3-1. I say 3-1. I give Paris Legion, they got what it takes to take one round away from them. But you know, that's just my prediction. 3-1, 3-0. Faze wins. But yeah, that was this game, and check out the next video that's coming up. It's probably gonna be London Royal Ravens against the Minnesota Rockers. So yeah, just check out that video, and thanks for watching.